Hi everyone, thought I'd just do a quick roundup video at the end of 2019 about my Christmas display. So this year I added this tree collar here to the footpath tree. It's got 6 rows of 13 pixels I think it is, so 78 pixels on it. It's worked out quite nice. I might try and extend it up the tree a bit further for 2020. And you can see the new pixel tubes. Now I've just got this set to a static sequence for the last day of the year, and there's my upgraded tint tubes which have now got pixel rings inside them, which we'll see if we can have a look inside. Yeah, it's a bit hard to see from there. Anyway, you get the idea. The pixel ring, I've done a separate video on those, so and those are all now controlled by that box up there, which has got a couple of DC-DC converters and a couple of boards for looping the data in and out to all those pigtails coming out the bottom. There's 24 pigtails coming out the bottom, so I've only actually got 20 of items plugged in at the moment. I've got 12 of the tint tubes and 8 of those pixel Meteor tubes. So the other 7 Meteor pixel tubes I've got are on that tree, you can see in the background there. So, and as usual, I've got my large candy canes. I like those. See if I can get them a bit brighter next year, and maybe pixelise them would be nice, but not sure what I can do there. Seeing they're red coloured, the same as these small ones here, I'm not sure what I can really do there to pixelise those. The front hedge here, that's just a couple of eBay net lights joined side to side and put in parallel, so they're 4-channel ones. Hoping to replace that with some sort of very low resolution matrix for 2020. One of my little tree collars, it's just got big W lights on it on that one. It might be nice to pixelise that tree, just got to find some suitable pixels for doing that sort of thing. So the bells I've got on the house, they're just an LED motif got off eBay. Santa on the chimney up there, and the stars, they're all 30 volts to 36 volts. Some of them are 36 volt now. I had to get a new Santa this year, and annoyingly it had moved to 36 volt, I think it was, that one, and so had the stars. So I had a 31 volt supply in there before, and what I had to do is get a separate 5 volt isolated DC-DC converter and stack that effectively on top in series with the 31 volt supply to get the 36 volts to drive those correctly. Still got my little Dalek Christmas trees up there. So they've still got the original LPD 6803 pixels on it, 41 pixels on it. I built those quite a few years ago now. They're still going perfectly. They've been really good. No failure at all on those. I've got some of those holly lights on the gutter there. Might do something different next year, I'm not sure. And there's my street light pole. And see if I can get it to focus. No, it does not focus. That's got 100 LEDs there. There we go. 100 LEDs on that mesh. That's 1/2 metre wide mesh by about 2.5 metres or 2 metres, something like that. Of mesh there. Actually, it's 2.5 metres because it's 25 pixels tall by 4 columns. So 100mm pitch spacing there. That gives it 2.5 metres, and in that box up, that's a CG1000 box I've got up there this year, and that's got a Wi-Fi pixel controller running that, an ES Pixel Stick style one. On the trees here, these topiary style trees, I've still got just the big WLED single colour ones, again with collars I've made up for those. Makes installation of that pretty easy and removal nice and easy. I've got a large wooden pole there. I might try and make a taller one for next year, and that's just got a motif type thing on it. There's a close-up of those bells. I quite like the colour. They're quite a nice golden sort of colour. There's the garage door strips. They're just dumb strip at the moment. Each side is individually addressable, but I've got pixel strip there. I was supposed to do that this year, but one of those things I just didn't get around to. So that'll be a 2020 job. There's my fancy wooden Christmas trees that I made, and those are the solar reject shop balls that I converted to pixel. So, and they've got a little controller sitting, another Wi-Fi controller sitting in the box on the back of one of these wooden trees. So that's worked out quite nice. In there I've got a couple of trees on the patio there, those pop-up sort of trees. I know it's getting a bit dark now to see that properly, but I'm going to try and pixelise those. I've got some new style of pixels on the way from AliExpress, so they'll arrive in the next month or so, so we'll be able to do that. There's another one of these Dalek Christmas trees. That's just a planter frame from Bunnings that's been turned upside down. Normally it's got the small side down and the fan side, that's normally the top side of it there, and that's normally the bottom, but I flipped them around, put those 41 pixels on it originally a few years ago. So, and I've got a DC power supplies, etc., all in the controller box. So there's one controller box there. Again, it's getting a bit dark, sorry about that. And there's a whole mess of wiring in there. I've got to tidy that up for next year. That's got a whole bunch of power supplies on the back of that swing out board. It's got 5 volt, 12 volt, 24 volt and 30 volt there, and there's a little tiny, I've had to add in a little 5 volt DC converter to run the star on this side, which is easier than trying to retrofit a whole extra 36 volt power supply. So that's just run in series with the 31 volt to get the 36. This tree here, got some more of those pixel meteor tubes, and it'd be nice to pixelise that tree as well, due course, but I'm just looking for a good option. I mean, the Big W strings I've got in there at the moment are just super easy to put up, and they're multicoloured and they look sort of nice, the same as on the fence. So it would be nice to be able to pixelise them and have everything sort of all matching. From that control box there, I've got a 24 volt and a 12 volt feed heading down via some fairly heavy cable, a 4-core cable, which is 1.5 square mil per conductor. So it's not too much voltage drop there. So that heads all the way down the fence and comes into the front corner of the yard. No, we won't be able to see it now, it's too dark. But basically it goes down to there, and then that goes off to the tree. It's out the front there, supplies the tree some 12 volts to run the 12 volt pixel mesh there, and then it drops it down to 5 volts to run those meteor lights and the tent tube lights there. So that's a bit of a look around my display for 2019. Thought this is the last night tonight, so I've just set it to this static scene, so it's a little bit less Christmassy. Well, it's still got all the candy canes etc. on, but just so I could show you what I've got. So not as fancy as some people's pixel displays, but I quite like it. The controller box there, I've got another one of those on the other side of the house, and that handles, it's pretty much identical. It's got a similar number of DC channels on it. It's got a PIX88 J1SYS controller on it as well. So there we go. Thanks for watching.